Hey everyone, Arthur of Gaming here. I'm getting on D&D Beyond today, and I'm going to make a new character. Josh Blake, also known as D&D Voices on Instagram, is going to be running a three-shot game on Vorpal board, and I'm going to be playing. Yay, I get to play a character. And so we're going to do that here, and I'm going to use my setup here, and I'm going to do a build for you of a character. So he has some specific things here that he wants to see. He wants to see all dwarves. The game is based around dwarves, so we're going to do some dwarven stuff here. So I'm going to do my characters, and I'm going to create a new character. I'm going to do a standard character. So I was originally going to do this character as a cleric. So if we go over here and go to D&D Beyond, if we look here at my characters again, here I had a character right here, Brangdor Gallenbrand, that I was going to play instead of a paladin. But now, second thought, I really kind of think I want to play a paladin. As you guys know, I do a lot of DMing. I don't do a lot of playing, and I don't know that in 5th edition I've played a paladin yet. And I like paladins; they're one of my favorite classes. So I think I'm going to try a paladin. We'll give that a shot, see how that goes, and play this character as a paladin instead. So let's do that instead. I am going to keep the same last name of Gallenbrand. Brangdor for me was an old character from 2nd edition D&D that I really liked many hundreds of years ago when I played D&D. So I was going to bring that name back, but I think I'll go with a different one. So back over here, so Gallenbrand is his last name, and that was given to me by the DM. It's one of his like 5 dwarven houses or something. And now I gotta think of a name to go with it. So I'm trying to think of a personality to go with him as well. I've been thinking about doing some sort of like Scottish accent if I can. I don't know that I can, but I was thinking about something like that. So maybe we'll go with wow. Let's I don't know. I don't know what to go with. So for right now, we'll go with Gallenbrand. We'll stick with that. I'm going to get rid of the Eberron stuff and the Magic the Gathering stuff because I don't know that he wants any of that stuff in there. I had someone comment in one of my videos that they wanted some help when it came to leveling and stuff. So I'm going to change this to XP, and I'm going to show you some leveling because we're starting the character at level 3. Apparently it's a 3-shot game. We're going to do level 3, level 6, and level 9. So it should be interesting to play and see the progression of the characters. So I'm going to build a dwarf. So let's scroll down. Oh, I passed it. Alphabetical. All right, going to go with dwarf. I think the other one I decided on Mountain Dwarf, didn't I? Let's take a look at what I had made before, because I'm going to need my stats too. So, Hill Dwarf I had decided on. So let's go with Hill Dwarf again. I'm going to choose that race. Tool proficiency, let's choose Smith's tools. I always like my dwarves to be smiths. So as you see, you can click next here on the side if you want to, or you can click along the top to jump to the next section. I like to just click the one on the side. I'm going to go with Paladin. So we're going to add class Paladin. Do my proficiencies here. So Paladin skill, I'm going to go with Insight. I like Insight, and we'll go with Religion. I should probably know some religion stuff as I'm going to be all Paladin-like and everything. I'll do the manage XP in a minute. This red X on the side here, if you click this, it will ask you, do you want to remove the class? You can say yes, and boom, there it takes away the class. So then you could re-add a different class if you wanted to. I know some people were wondering what that was. You could also click here and you can make the character at any level you wanted to make them. I'm going to show you step by step how to get to level 3. So I'm going to make him as a level 1 first, and then we'll go back and we'll raise him up as level 2 and 3. Again, hit next arrow. Abilities. So I'm going to do standard or manual because I already had stats that I put in. So if I go to this guy, I already rolled these before. So there's what I had. 14, 12, 13, 10, 17, 12. That's what I rolled. I had some good rolls. So I'm going to go 14, 12, 13, 10, 17, 12. There we go. He was doing 4 die 6, dropped the lowest, and I managed to get some pretty good stats for it. Background. I'm not entirely sure what he wants us to do. I know we're going to be part of like a noble house and stuff. I'm going to go with knight. I was going to go with my other character when I was making him my cleric. I was going to go with noble, plain old noble. I don't know. Something about paladins to me should just always be knights. I don't know. That's just me. I'm going to choose gaming set. Let's go with some 3 Dragon Ante. I like 3 Dragon Ante. And for speech, let's go with some. Oh, I don't know. Let's go with the deep speech. It's always good. Suggested characteristics. Okay, so let's take a look here. So remember, with personality traits, we choose 2. Now I could roll for these. I could do random if I wanted to. I kind of like to pick them because it just gives me a feel of the character. I'm going to pick number 6. Despite my noble birth, I don't place myself above other folk. We all have the same blood. That's a good one. I like that. And common folk love me for my kindness and generosity. I'm going to go up here and look at the ideals. And now, what these are for, I didn't describe that very well. The personality traits, which is 2 of them, the ideals, the bonds, and the flaws, those are role-playing mechanics that if you follow these, you can get back your inspiration. So what's inspiration? So inspiration is a analog thing that you have. It is either on or it is off. So you either have inspiration or you don't have inspiration. You can't have 5 inspiration or 6 inspiration. You can either have inspiration or you don't. When you have it, depending on how your DM rules in inspiration, by the book, you can use your inspiration to have advantage on a die 20 roll, which you have to declare ahead of time. I don't generally do it that way. I like to do it as a re-roll, and I also like to do it as players can give it to each other. So, you can be inspired by your fellow man and your adventuring party, and they can inspire you to do better on your roll. So you can roll, you get a low roll, and someone can give you their inspiration, or you can use your inspiration and re-roll. So knowing those mechanics, this is how you get it back. So if I have used my inspiration, if I role play by these things, and I can say to my DM, hey, it's my duty to respect the authority of those above me just as much as they must respect mine. If I say I've been role playing like that, which I just took that, and the DM can say, yeah, you have been playing that way. Here's your inspiration back. So it's just kind of a neat way to reward you for role playing, which this is a role playing game, ROLE, not ROLL. Even though you do a lot of ROLL dice, it's role, it's playing a role, it's acting, it's improv. So it just rewards you for playing by your character. Let's see. I kind of like I will face any challenge to win the approval of my family, and then this is my flaw. And I'm going to say that, you know what? By my words and actions, I often bring shame to my family. I think I'm going to play him kind of like, he has the greatest intentions and always tries to do the right thing, but somehow it just doesn't often work out for him. We're going to go with goody goody. He's going to be lawful good. Faith, I think he's supposed to be a Moradin dwarf. Lifestyle, we'll say it's wealthy because he's from like a noble house. Physical characteristics, hair, we're going to go with red hair. Skin, we'll go Caucasian. Eyes are going to be green. He's going to be a tall dwarf at 5'6", but he's going to be kind of portly, so he'll be 200 pounds. A little fat dwarf, because that's what, in my opinion, that's what dwarves are, short and fat. Age is going to be, we're going to go with like 65 years old. And of course, he's male, as I've been saying he this entire time. I have no other notes or anything for him, so we're going to just hit next. So I'm just going to choose starting equipment here, right? I'm going to go with a martial weapon and a shield. I like battle axes. I'm a big fan of dwarves wielding axes. To me, dwarves are axes and hammers. That's what dwarves are. I'll go with some javelins because I need to have some sort of ranged option. An explorer's pack. He's gonna have an emblem for his symbol. Everything else, I'm just going to add that to my character. So now that has added all those items to my character. You could have also just added gold to the character instead, and you could have spent gold as you normally would. And then next, and you can view character sheet here, or you can press here and view character sheet. So here is what my character would look like at first level. Okay, so there's that. So I'm going to go through and change a few things. Number one, you can click on your face up here. You can edit your character. That'll take you back into where you just were. Manage levels, manage experience. You can give yourself short rest and long rest. Change your frame. I like to do this. Kind of change my frame to look. That's kind of cool. I don't like that one either. Fishbowl. This, you see, the frame is up here. This is what's changing up here. In case you're looking and you're not seeing where it is. I kind of like gears and cogs and stuff. I think it just makes sense for... Oh, our platinum looks pretty good too. Oh, maybe an amulet? Beholder tank, that's kind of cool. Wax seal. Oh, no, I kind of like the wax seal. Okay, so let's go with that. Right? And then we're going to click on this again, and we're going to change picture, right? I'm going to pick my picture. Now, you could choose a file, and you could upload a file from your computer. You could go online. You could, do searches for, like if we went to google.com, and we went to images, and we did, dwarf red hair axe. And boom, here you go. Plenty of images out there. That's kind of like what I picture as my typical dwarf, actually. We could click on that. I'm going to save that. We'll save it here. Dwarf. It's in my pictures folder. We'll go back here to my character. And now I can choose a file from my pictures folder. Dwarf. And set it. Boom, there he is. So now I'm noticing that the red wax mark is totally cut my picture out there. So let's get away from that. That's a little, I saw some stuff down here that I thought was kind of cool. Maybe something like this or this. Oh, I like that. I like this. Let's go with that one. That one's cool. Purple's my favorite color. So let's go with that. So there we go. So I got my picture. I got that. Now there's also a theme you can change. And that is the overall theme of the sheet. Again, I said purple is my favorite color. Let's go with that. Look at that. Okay, now we got some purple action going on. Here's my inspiration. Let's say I have it to start with. Again, on or off, right? You have it, you spend it, you turn it off. You can get it back, etc. In here, you'll notice my armor class is only 11. So we should make sure we go in here, equip things. So equip my battle axe, equip my chainmail, equip my javelins, equip my shield. Keep clicking the wrong spot. And now you see my armor class has jumped to 18 because now I have my armor on. And in my actions tab here, if you look, here's my battle axe, here's my javelin, here's my roll to hit, here's my damage, all that kind of stuff is there. You'll also see in my actions tab all my stuff that I have that I can do for my character, right? So I have, as an action, I can detect good and evil, and I could, once or twice per long rest, a pool of healing that can restore 5 hit points per long rest. As an action, you can take hit. So here I can mark off if I give somebody, let's say I give somebody 2, bang, right? I want to give you, I keep clicking on things. I want to give you 2 points to heal you. I can check on it there. And this pool's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So it's 5 per level. So when I level up to 2, I'm going to show you how it got bigger. When I level up to 3, it'll show you how it got bigger. Over here on this side of your character sheet is your proficiencies in languages. So you can look and see what languages you speak. You can see what tools and proficiencies you have. Remember that anything you are proficient with, you get to add your proficiency bonus to. Whether it's a tool, whether it is, you know, your weapons, etc. So the fact that I am proficient with my martial weapons means I get to take my +2 bonus in my strength and my +2 bonus for my proficiency, and that's my +4 to hit. Although I don't know that paladins need wisdom, do they? Let's take a look, right? Let's look at my game rules. Let's go look at paladin. Where is it? There we go. What should paladins have? Because I don't think it's wisdom anymore. I think it might be strength and charisma. That's what they suggest. So wisdom and charisma. So they do suggest wisdom. So wisdom and charisma, but is the +4 wisdom going to be what I want? Because I think some of their abilities are based off of their charisma mostly. Right, so look, their spells, paladin spells are equal to your charisma, and your proficiency bonus is equal to your charisma. So I'm not really sure what wisdom does for them. Divine Smite has nothing to do with wisdom. Divine Hell has nothing to do with wisdom. Sacred Oath has nothing to do with wisdom. So I wonder why wisdom is chosen, other than the fact that they are divine characters. So I wonder if that's why wisdom. Because look at their aura protection is based off of charisma. Divine Smite stuff. So I don't really see anything with wisdom at all. So let's go back to Galenbrand. Now that I've reevaluated things, let's go to my builder. Let's go to my abilities. So let's swap out that 17 wisdom and put that in charisma. And 12. Let's do that. And let's go back there like that. So now we'll see my wisdom's now a 13, my charisma's a 17, because they get the hill dwarves get +1 to wisdom. And actually, I'm not one usually to min max, but in this case I don't really care which race of dwarf I play. So I'm playing a hill dwarf now. What does the mountain dwarf give me? So mountain dwarf is strength. And they give you proficiency with light or medium armor, which we already kind of have as a paladin. So all I would get for Mountain Dwarf is a +2 to strength, which would come in handy actually as a paladin. So I'd end up getting +2 to constitution and +2 to strength instead of the bonus to wisdom. But what else am I losing for choosing Hill Dwarf? Hill Dwarf, they get their hit point increased by 1 and 1 every time you level. So I would lose 3 hit points, but I get +2 to my strength. I think I'm going to switch. I think I'm going to switch him to Mountain Dwarf. So let's go back. So one of the tricks here, change race, dwarf, Mountain Dwarf, change race. So one of the tricks I like to do with a caster is play a Mountain Dwarf like a wizard. Because you get light and medium armor to start. So at first level, you can be running around in medium armor as a wizard, and it's great. It's great for keeping you safe. If you want to play dwarf, of course. So that looks like now, so my wisdom goes back down to a 12, my strength goes up to a 16, so that's going to make my attacks better and my damage better, right? Which, if I'm a paladin, I'm probably going to be doing a lot of swinging my axe, which I'm good with, since I love dwarves who swing their axes. As you see over here, the darkened circles are proficient and not proficient. So this is, that means if you're proficient in your wisdom saving throws, you get your wisdom bonus, which is 1, plus your proficiency bonus, which is 2, to make a 3 in this case. This here means I have advantage on saves versus poison, right? Because I'm a dwarf. All dwarves get advantage on saves versus poison. So that's that. Here's my passive perception, investigation, insight. Passive any skill is just 10 plus your bonus. So if you see my insight is a passive insight of 13, my insight is a 3 because it is proficiency 2 plus wisdom, because the wisdom skill, you see right there. So it's 3, and then the passive version is 13. So all that means is that if I'm not actively trying to see if someone's lying and they try to lie to me, I might just kind of pick it up by them conversating with me. So this looks like this is my first level of the character, because I don't have where's spells? I don't have spells yet, right? So it doesn't even show up, which is great. They do that. That's one good thing about D&D Beyond. I forgot that the tab doesn't even show up if you don't have it. So I don't have spells to deal with yet. I'm pretty sure I get them at 2nd level. So so there's that, right? So here's all of this, and all set there. So now let's go back and let's look at the character, increasing them to level 2. Okay, so, and as I said before, I'm going to do it by experience-wise. So if you look here, we can go to Manage Experience. Now, I know to get to level 2, as you see over here, we need 300 experience. So let's just say I've gotten 300 experience, because I know I'm starting at level 3, right? So actually, let's even go back. Let's say I got like 100. I can apply that. You see a little thing moves up in the middle. Let's say I got like 75 more. I can apply that. Let's say I got like 100 more. I can apply that. You see how it jumps up slowly as we go. And then let's say I got 50 more, and I apply, and boom, now I'm level 2. You see down here, you've updated your experience. I am now level 2. So what that means, we can now go and increase my level. So we can go here and we can do edit character, or we can go manage levels. So we'll go manage levels. And here I am Paladin. You see a little up one here, right? It says I can go up a level. I could add anything. So I could add Paladin again, which I'm going to. I'm not one for playing multi-class characters very often. Very, very rarely do I do that. I kind of like to dive into a class and feel all the features of that class rather than kind of mixing and matching. If you did want to add another class, though, you could go down here and you could add a class. So we could add a class, and then again take a look. Now this tells you what things you can't join. So like I can't be a cleric because my wisdom's not high enough. I need a 13 and mine's only a 12. I can't be a monk. My dexterity is not high enough. I can't be a rogue or ranger. I can't be a wizard. My intelligence isn't high enough. I could, of course, because it's based on charisma, I could be, can't really see it very well here, but I could be a warlock, which is down here. My camera's in the way. But I could choose warlock, but I'm not going to. I'm going to cancel that. I'm going to change this. I'm going to go to level 2, and we're going to go to Paladin level 2. I'm going to choose a fighting style. We have options here. I could choose defense. I could choose dueling, great weapon fighting, or protection. So defense just gives me a +1 to my AC, which is good. Dueling, now this is one people don't often know. When you're wielding a melee weapon in one hand and no other weapons, you gain a +2 bonus to damage rolls with that weapon. That says no other weapons. Doesn't say you can't have a shield. So you can have a sword and board, as they call it, paladin or fighter or any of those things, take dueling and have a good AC and do more damage with your sword or whatever other weapon you're using. Great weapon fighting is two-handed weapons. You get bonuses with two-handed weapons. And protection is a fun one. So protection is when a creature you can see attacks a target other than you that's within 5 feet of you. You can impose your reaction or use your reaction to impose disadvantage on the attack roll. You must have a shield. So someone that's within 5 feet of you goes to attack somebody else. You can kind of whack them with your shield or stick it in the way or something and give them disadvantage on the roll. Protection is generally what I go with. I think I'm going to go with that here too. Sounds good. There's no other things down here that require any sort of plus. There's no other little stars or anything. So next. And I think that's it. I'm done. Let me go back to my character sheet. So here's my level 2 version of my paladin. Here's my hit points up to 20 now because I'm not rolling. I usually do average. So with the Paladin having a die 10, it's always half plus 1. So half the die maximum plus 1. So half of 10 is 5, plus 1 is 6. I would get 6 hit points, plus my constitution of 2, which gives me 8. So every level I'll get 8 hit points. By that manner, at third level, when we make myself third level, you'll see I'll have 28 hit points up there in the corner. So everything is good there. As you can see, now look, here my lay on hands pool has changed to, right? Just, it doesn't have the little boxes and anymore. I'm just going to go up or down, however, and I can confirm, and now it's 8, right? Or I can go back to there and confirm it's at 10. And you can change that around as you use it. And then we go to spells. So now second level, I have spells, right? I have a +3 modifier for my spells. A spell attack of +5 because it's my charisma +2. My save DC is 13 because it's 8. It's always 8 plus your proficiency bonus, which is 2 at this level, plus your stat bonus, which is 3 for me. So that's how that came up with that. And now I'm going to go to manage spells. So as you can see, known spells, I get to prepare 4 spells. So what this means is there are 4 spells that I get to learn, and that is based off of I think charisma plus level, right? If we go to features and traits, if we go to spell casting, cast prepared spells using your charisma as your spellcasting modifier. Where was it? Oh, let's go back over to the other one. Dwarf race. Let's go back to my paladin, right? And let's see how they do it. So yeah, let's just scroll down. It's fine. I can get to it faster by scrolling down. So spell casting. To cast one of your spells, you must have spell slots. Oh, there it is. So when you do choose, you choose a number of paladin spells equal to your charisma modifier plus half your paladin level. That's what I thought it was. Rounded down. So if we look over here, charisma modifier is 3. I am paladin level 2. Half of 2 is 1. So 3 plus 1 is 4. So I get to prepare 4 spells. Manage spells. Known spells. So 4 spells. So what that means is my paladin has like 4 spells running around in his mind, and this is how many times I can cast any of those spells in a day. So twice. So I get 2 spells per day per long rest. So if I have 4 spells, I could cast 2 different spells once, or I could cast the same spell twice. I'm going to take Cure Wounds because that's always a good thing to be able to, cure your friends. Other ones that are good, I like Heroism's pretty cool. If you click on them in this, it'll show you what the spell is, tell you what the player's handbook page is, lets you read the spell. The good thing is too, as you see, this is duration concentration. Just from this list, you can see which ones have the little concentration symbol next to them. Concentration means you can only have 1 concentration spell going at a time. If I were to cast Heroism, for instance, and then I were to cast Bless, as soon as I cast the Blessed, the Heroism turns off. Because you're only allowed to concentrate on 1 spell at a time. In addition, while concentrating on a spell, when you take damage, you must make a Constitution saving throw to try and concentrate on the spell. Because now you're concentrating on a spell, someone hits you with something, and you have to try and maintain your concentration. It is equal to half the damage taken, or 10, whichever is higher. And I have, what's my con saving throws, a 2. So if I get hit, I'm not going to be concentrating very well on spells. So Cure Wounds I'm going to take. So let's see, Heroism, I can't remember what it does exactly here. You gain temporary hit points equal to your spellcasting modifier at the start of each of your turns, right? So yeah, so I'd get, my spellcasting modifier is 3, which is also up here, right here, 3. So if I were to cast Heroism, at the beginning of my turn, I get 3 temporary hit points. If I take any damage, those hit points come off first. If I don't take damage, or if I only take like 1 point of damage or something, at the beginning of my next turn, I would gain 3 more temporary hit points. They don't stack. So if I had 0 temporary hit points, I'd go back to 3. If I had 3 temporary hit points, I'd go nowhere. If I had 1 or 2 temporary hit points, I would go to 3. 3 is the maximum. That's where you stop. So we go with that. I'm going to go with Cure Wounds. I'm going to go with Bless. Bless is just a good spell. So again, concentration spell. It allows you to choose 3 of your friends with a first level spell slot. As you see, a lot of the spells, something I really like in 5th edition, is you can cast them at higher levels using higher spell slots with an increased effect. So whereas Bless lets you bless 3 creatures of your choice, if you're using a 2nd level spell slot or higher, you can target 1 additional creature for each slot above 1. So with a 2nd level spell slot, you can do 4 people. With a 3rd level spell slot, you can do 5 people, etc. And what Bless does is whenever someone makes an attack or saving throw, they get to add a die 4 to their roll. So, you know, if I'm got an attack with my sword and I roll a 10, and my, you know, we looked over here, my sword is a +5, so 10 plus 5 is 15. And then I had Bless on. I could then roll a die 4 on top of that, so that could take me anywhere from a 16 to a 19, right? Which gives me, sometimes when you're right on that bubble and you miss by like 1 or 2, Bless can really put you over that edge so that you'll hit. And it affects your friends. Only thing I like better than Bless is the opposite, which is Bane, which Paladins don't have, which is like basically a curse on the bad guys. You choose 3 bad guys and they subtract a die 4, which is primo. Especially when it can take a natural 20 down below natural 20, which is always nice. So 2 other spells here. Oof, these are hard ones to choose. I think I'm going to go with, I don't know. I'm going to go with Purify Food and Drink, I think. We're dealing with like some house stuff and some political stuff. I would not be surprised to see somebody trying to poison somebody. So I'm going to go with that. And then I'm going to go with, what is Divine Favor? Oh yeah, that's that one. So yes, your prayer empowers you with Divine Radiance. Until the spell ends, your weapon and attacks deal an extra 1d4 radiant damage on a hit. I'm going to choose that. Again, concentration. The bonus for this is when you're fighting undead. Don't know if we're going to be fighting any. I have no idea what the module or the campaign is going to be like for this 3 episode thing. But a lot of undead creatures, for instance, have healing if they haven't taken radiant damage or various things like that. So Divine Favor is really good for if you run into an undead creature, just boop, extra die 4 damage. It may not do more damage, but sometimes it shuts off abilities that they have. So looking at this now, this is the 2nd level version of Gallenbrand. And now we're going to go to Manage Experience again, right? Manage Experience. We're going to add some more experience here. So what? I need 600 more. So we're going to jump to 575 is what I need. That jumps me right straight to level 3. And we're going to do that. You could also, actually back there, Manage Experience, you could just set your level. Right, I can set my level to 5. Apply. Boom, there I am, level 5, right? So you can easily, instead of adding the number down here, you could just set your level to whatever level you've just leveled to. So here's what he looks like at level 3. Again, manage character, or edit character. Edit character. Here you go, right? Level 2, there's a little up 1, so I'm getting another level of something. I'm going to, again, go with Paladin, right? Because that's, I told you I don't really like the multi-class. So Paladin, going to scroll down and look. You can't see it on your screen, unfortunately. So let me, this says Sacred Oath. I get to choose a Sacred Oath that I get to add in here. There's all sorts of things you get for Sacred Oath. You get some oath spells. You get Channel Divinity, which gives you twice a day, I think it is, you get to do a power on a short or long rest. And the powers are usually pretty cool. It's based on your oath, what the power actually does. So let's take a look at my subclasses here. So my video's in the way over there. I can't really, maybe if I do this, let's do this and move this over. Here we go. That's a little better. Okay, so let's take a look here then at my options, right? So these are the standard options of various things I can choose. There are actually, if I go back to my character, remember back in the beginning where I chose to turn off all sorts of, oops, that's not what I wanted. Go back. the good thing about this. If you make a mistake and choose the wrong button, you can just jump right back. Assuming you don't somehow crash D&D Beyond and ruin everything. Go back to my character. There we go. There we go. Okay, so we go here. If we go back to home, remember here we said we got rid of homebrew, critical role, playtest content, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to turn playtest content back on because if I go back to my class, I go back to my Sacred Oath, and I look, there's 2 new ones. So D&D Wizards every month or so has playtest content they put up on their website called Unearthed Arcana, which is a book from, it's a holdover from 2nd edition Dungeons & Dragons. They had a book called Unearthed Arcana, actually from 1st edition Dungeons & Dragons, sorry. And that had like alternate options for characters. A lot of the characters that you know now as classes and stuff came from that book. They were expanded on the base characters, base classes. So they decided to keep that name and use it as the name for their playtest stuff. So I'm going to take a look at like the Oath of Heroism and just see what kind of things I'm going to get. It tells you it's unofficial material. The Sacred Oath. So there's some oath spells. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go back here to my Paladin class. Let's go here and look at Oath of Heroism. Sounds like something I would like to play. I tend to play superhero kind of knight in shining armor kind of characters. I know some people think that's extremely boring, but that's just how I am. I'm a nurse by day, so generally just taking care of people and being good to people is in my bones. So I kind of, that's kind of how I roll. So they have Expeditionary Retreat and Guiding Bolt. If you look on one of the cool things about D&D Beyond is anything that's like in a bold. Purple is spells, green is like stats and stuff like that, skills and stuff. So if you hover over it, it pops up this nice little pop that tells you kind of what it does, right? Expeditionary Retreat's a first level spell. It's a bonus action cast on yourself. Lasts for 10 minutes or concentration, and concentration. So it'll last for up to 10 minutes, but you have to concentrate. Again, remember, only one concentration spell. If you take damage, you might lose your concentration spell. And it allows you to move fast. When you cast a spell, and then as a bonus action on each of your turns, you can take the dash action. So it gives those people who are not rogues, rogues get that bonus action dash that they get to use starting at 2nd level. It gives people it gives you that option. Which is kind of nice sometimes. There's Guiding Bolt, which you hit a target. It lasts for 1 round. You make a ranged spell attack, and then you do 4d6 radiant damage, and the next person to attack them gets advantage on their roll, which is also good. But let's see what their actual abilities are, right? So besides spells, you get an option for Peerless Athlete. As a bonus action, you gain advantage on all strength and dexterity checks, strength athletics and dexterity acrobatics checks for the next 10 minutes. So as you can see, athletics, it tells you what you can do. Swimming, jumping. Another thing that's not on here is any monsters that grapple are generally an action to take an athletics check or an acrobatics check to get out. So being the athlete, you could in combat, for instance, channel divinity and then advantage on all your checks to get out. And you can use your legendary strike as a bonus action. Use your channel advantage as a bonus action to guide your attacks for 1 minute. Your weapon attacks score could at 19 or 20. So not bad. Not bad options. I don't know that I'm really excited about either one of them, but that's not bad. So let's look at the Oath of the Watchers. So this one. Protect the mortal realm from the platters of extraplanar creatures, which may lay waste to mortal soldiers. So they have some interesting stuff. So they almost have like some wizardly kind of spells attached to them, like Alarm, Chromatic Orb, which is a wizard spell generally. You can do 3d8 damage of a type you choose. You throw an orb and you can choose acid or fire or blah, blah, blah. It says right there. Acid, cold, fire, lightning, poison, or thunder. right? So you can be like, oh, it's a fire creature. I'll make a cold orb and throw it, hoping to do more damage, right? And then your channel divinity is, as an action, you can choose a number of creatures you can see within 30 feet up to your charisma modifier. For 1 minute, all chosen creatures have advantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws. So that's kind of cool. If you're trying to protect your friends, you know that these creatures have like maybe a gaze attack or something that's against wisdom or say charisma, for instance, or maybe this just a spellcaster that's hucking spells at you a lot. You could do that, which would give your friends some bonuses. You can abjure the extra planner, so this looks like you can try and get rid of send them away, right? Present your holy system to an elemental, fey, fiend, or aberration within 30 feet. Wisdom save, or it's turned for 1 minute until it takes damage. So a turn creature must spend its turn moving away as far away from you as it can, and it can't willingly move to a space within 30 feet of you. For its action, it can only use the dash action to try to escape from an effect that prevents it from moving. If there's nowhere to move, the creature can use the dodge action. So, like if you get them pegged into a corner and they can't go near you, they can just stand there and dodge. Or if they can move, they just try and run away from you. It's like turning undead, which is something clerics and paladins have been able to do for a very long time. So that's kind of cool. Again, let's kind of keep on taking a look. Oath of Conquest. And see, I know what some of these things do. So Oath of Conquest, here's some more spells that you get to add on. Conquering Presence, you can frighten creatures, or you can Guided Strike, which lets you give you a bonus to an attack roll. Oath of Devotion. So this one does, again, spells, right? Oath spells down here. Protection from Evil and Good, Sanctuary, kind of some stuff that I already have as a paladin / cleric spells. Turn Undead as usual. And Sacred Weapon. For 1 minute, add your charisma modifier to attack rolls with that weapon. The weapon emits a bright light in 20 feet and 20 feet beyond. The weapon is not already magical. It becomes magical for the duration. Now, that's pretty good. So for 1 minute, and I have a high charisma bonus, right? My charisma bonus is, well, let's go back to that. I think +3, right? I have charisma bonus of +3. So I could give myself a +3 to my attack roll. Notice it says only attack rolls, by the way. It does not say damage. But I give myself a +3 to my attack roll. If you run into something that's really hard to hit, it emits light, which I'm a dwarf. I mean, unless you're in total darkness, I don't really need the light. But it's also magical. That's pretty good. At low levels, finding a way to get a magic weapon is very handy. That's a possibility. I think that's my favorite one so far. So Oath of Redemption. Again, more spells. I always like when you get an option to get a spell that's not normally on your spell list as a bonus, like, Sleep, Hold Person. Well, Hold Person might be on a paladin spell. Counterspell I know is not there. Autoluke's Resilient Sphere and Stone Skin are not there. Hold Monster, Wall of Force. Like, those are some cool spells that paladins don't normally get, so I kind of like that. Channel Divinity. You can give yourself +5 to persuasion checks for 10 minutes, or you can rebuke the violent. So immediately after an attacker within 30 feet deals damage with an attack against a creature other than you, you can use your reaction to force the attacker to make a wisdom save. On a save, the attacker takes radiant damage equal to the damage it just dealt. On a successful save, it takes half. That's pretty cool. So you can kind of bounce attacks back. Remember now, you only have 2 though at this level. 2 for a short rest. So it's not like I'm going to be doing that a lot. And I did take Protector Paladin. So that's also a reaction to use my protection thing. So I don't want to stack too many reactions up on top of each other. Because you know what's going to happen. I'm going to do one to protect somebody, and then I'm going to want to do the next one, and I won't be able to do it. So here's some oath spells. So also, by the way, the oath spells just add to your spells known. Champion Challenge. You can create a creature of your choice you can see within 30 feet. Make a wisdom save. On a failed save, the creature can't willingly move more than 30 feet away from you. So this is the opposite of, instead of pushing things away, you're pulling things. You're like, come on, let's do it. Let's fight, right? So they can't get away. Can't get away from you. The one thing it doesn't do is it doesn't actually compel them to fight you. They don't have to come after you. Turn the Tide is a bonus action. You can bolster injured creatures with your Channel Divinity. Each creature your choice that can hear you within 30 feet regains 1d6 plus your charisma modifier if it has no more than half of its hit points. So that's pretty good too. That's not bad. Oath of Watchers we've already looked at. Oath of Watchers, that's that. Oath of Vengeance. So I know kind of what this one already does. This one, although it has some cool, like here's that Bane. Remember how I said I like Bane? I also like Hunter's Mark, another good one. You can mark a creature and then you deal an extra die 6 damage to it every time you hit it. Pretty good, right? The Oath of the Vengeance kind of makes me feel like there was a Paladin like character in 4th edition, which is I'm blanking right now. I can't remember what it was called. It wasn't a Paladin though, but it was a Paladin like character, and that's what this archetype with this oath kind of feels like. So choose a creature 60 feet. They add your enemy wisdom save, or it's frightened. Fiends end up have a disadvantage on the save, so you can scare away creatures. They're frightened for 1 minute or until they take damage. Speed is 0, and it can't benefit from any bonus to its speed. On a successful save, the creature's speed is half for 1 minute until the creature takes any damage. So the okay with that, the okay thing with that is what it does, but the bad thing about it is as soon as they take damage, they snap out of it, which, you know, kind of the whole point is to be whacking on them, or, you know, more than likely if you abjure, and it's only one creature within 60 feet, right? Choose one creature within 60 feet. So more than likely you're going to do it, and that one creature is going to start running away or whatever. In this case, not running away, frightened. It's going to start to cower. And how often is that going to come in handy before somebody hits it, right? Or you get to the point where it's, you have to hit it. If it was maybe like 3 creatures, well, maybe that you could kind of thin out. I don't know. Not a fan either way. And as a bonus action, you can vow enmity against a creature. This one is pretty good. You get advantage on attack rolls against a creature for 1 minute or until it drops to 0 hit points or falls unconscious. So that's a good one. The vow of enmity is really good. But lots of people play Vengeance Paladins. I feel like almost everybody plays Vengeance Paladins. So I'm going to look at the next one. The Oathbreaker. Kind of makes me think of the ghosts from Lord of the Rings, right? So cool spells, right? Hellish Rebuke, which you don't normally get as a paladin. Inflict Wounds, Crown of Madness, Darkness, Animate Dead. How cool would that be to be a paladin running around animating dead? Kind of cool, right? Blight is a great spell. Does 8d8 necrotic damage on an attack. Granted, you have to be 13th level to cast this, right? As a paladin. Does 8d8 damage necrotic on a failed save, half as much on a successful. Does not affect undead or constructs, so there's that. But if the creature is a plant or a magical plant, it gets disadvantage, and the spell deals maximum damage to it. So you come across a shambling mound or a corpse flower or anything like that. That's a plant, and bam, this thing can really wreck them. Can damn near kill them. So Channel Divinity, 2 options: Control Undead. Target one undead within 30 feet. Wisdom save, failed save. The target must obey the paladin's command for the next 24 hours or until the paladin uses this Channel Divinity option again. An undead whose challenge rating is equal to or greater than the paladin's level is immune to the effect. Right? So you can't, at 3rd level, you can't do it to like Strahd von Zarovich, right? But you can do it on, on some good stuff. You could probably, 3rd level undead. I'm trying to think of what some CR3 undeads are. Probably a ghoul, maybe a ghast, shadows, zombies, skeletons, those kind of things. And then there's Dreadful Aspect. As an action, paladin channels darkest emotion and focuses them to a burst of magical menace. Each creature the paladin strikes within 30 feet of the paladin must make a wisdom save. On a failed, it's frightened for the paladin, and the creature frightened by this effect ends its turn more than 30 feet away from the paladin can attempt another wisdom saving throw. So, frightened, right? What does frightened do? Disadvantage on all ability checks and attack rolls while the source of its fear is within its line of sight and the creature can't move in closer to the source of fear. And this is each creature within 30 feet. So that's a little better, right? That's giving me lots of options to hit and do some stuff with. I'm kind of liking this. Aura of Hate. Any fiends and undead within 10 feet of the paladin gain a bonus to melee weapon damage rolls. the Paladin, as well as fiends and undead within 10 feet, gain a bonus to move against Paladin modifier. Creature can benefit from this feature only from one Paladin at a time. So, well, the drawback on that is any fiends and undead within 10 feet. So that would be the enemies too. That's what it sounds like to me, which might kind of suck. But imagine if you had a Paladin where you've, channeled divinity, control a couple of, controlled one, and animate dead another one, right? You could have a couple of undead running around with you. That could be kind of cool. I'm kind of liking this. I think I'm going to go with Oathbreaker. Why not? Let's do Oathbreaker. Something different. So go back here. Right, level 3. Oath. Where's my oath? Sacred Oath. Here it is right here. I'm going to go with Oathbreaker. Oh, there was an Oath of the Crown there. Did I not look at that? Oath of the Crown. Did I look at that? Yes, I did. We already looked at Oath of the Crown. I thought I missed it. Okay, so I took Oathbreaker. You see there's nothing else here that has, like, stars or anything next to it saying I need to do something with it. I'll go back to my character sheet. At level 3, I know I'm going to have some more spells, I think, to deal with. As you see, Hellish Rebuke and Inflict Wounds get added to my already known spells, right? So they are always prepared, so I can always cast them. They still take a spell slot, though, so I still have slots. I still need to use those slots to do it, but they're part of my character now. So instead of I get more, just instead of only knowing 4 spells like this says, I get to have three more. I don't get any more spells. Right, forgot. It was half my character level rounded down. I'm so used to full spellcasters like clerics, wizards, and all that. Just get like 1 more spell every level that they can memorize. So that's actually it for that. No more equipment that I know of. No more features and traits, although you see my lay on hands have 15 points now. Notes. I'm going to add on. So the campaign that I'm going to be playing in is called Jorig Gallenbrand's Will, which interesting, because that's my name. Well, not my first name, but I'm going to put campaign, even though it's only a 3-shot campaign, I'm going to put it there. So it's Jorig Gallenbrand's Will. So that's going to be the campaign that I'm playing in. I didn't realize when I chose. So when I chose my character, the DM just sent me like 5 houses, and he said one of them was a holy house, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I think I'll choose that because I was going to play a cleric. I didn't realize that made me, like, I don't know, descendant of this Jorig Gallenbrand, which kind of fits actually, because maybe that means I'm kind of a black sheep or something. And that's why I'm not just automatically inheriting the whole castle or whatever the heck is going on. So that looks like that's pretty much my entire character. 28 hit points, like I said. You see my level. I'm going to actually turn this back off. I'll do it at some point in time. I don't know how the DM does it. I normally with my campaigns, I don't use experience points. I just do milestones, which I like better. So I'll change that at some other point in time. It looks like that's my entire character. So as you can see, it's not hard to make a character, other than the fact that I was rambling along here for, I don't know how long I've been. Wow, I'm almost an hour. Rambling along here for like an hour, explaining things to you guys. I can whip up a character in minutes. D&D Beyond is great for that. It's an awesome resource. It's well worth it. I've said it all the time in most of my videos. I don't know how I did D&D without it before. Just makes your life so much easier. It really is a good resource. You should be checking it out. Other than that, there you go. So there's my character. I still don't have a first name yet. I got to work on that. It's one of the hardest things for me is names. So I'm going to go with that in a little bit. I'll figure it out. But that's my male Mountain Dwarf Paladin level 3, the Oathbreaker, which I think is going to be really cool. And that's him. So I'll let you guys know when I'm going to play in this campaign. It's going to be streaming online. It's a 3-episode stream that we're going to be playing. It should be a lot of fun. I can't wait to play. I don't get to play very, very often. And I think it's streaming on Vorpalboard, which are my friends that do a lot of streaming stuff. So check those guys out, www.vorpalboard.com. They're great. DnDBeyond.com. And that's it. So please like my video, subscribe to my channel. Tell me what kind of stuff you want to see. This video actually got born out of somebody was responding to another video of mine of D&D Beyond and was saying he didn't understand a few things and how some certain things worked. So, you know, between them asking that question and me needing to make a character, boom, video, right? So do that. Subscribe to my channel. Comment on stuff. Tell me what you're liking, what maybe other things you might want to see. If there's something you want to see on D&D Beyond, you know, I can quickly do up a video and put up some content. I'm always looking for cool stuff to do that people are interested in seeing. And other than that, stay safe out there. It's a big, scary world. Try and stay safe in it. Bye, guys.